I want to get better at building, as you may have seen by the intro and the world creation and everything. So, what better way to do it than to do it in the dumbest possible way? Like, oh, I don't know, randomly generated world and with limitations of what blocks I can use. So my goal here is I'm going to have a theme that like a friend of mine or I came up with, and then I'm going to spin the wheel of limitations. In the wheel of limitations, I will explain what each of the things on the wheel mean when they pop up. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Oh dear. Oh dear. So what survival hunted means is I have to start a new world. So that's two worlds that I have to have. And in the new world, I have to start in survival. And I'm just gonna leave it on like normal, not hard. God, not hard. And from that new world, I have to fill my inventory with an assortment of blocks that I can then use for building. Basically, if I can get it within a 30-minute span of time, then I'm gonna be using it. Well, not really. Basically, anything in my inventory at the end of the timer, those are my blocks. I cannot use any others. And I don't have to use every block in the inventory, obviously. But oh boy. I really don't know what to do. I'm kind of sitting here like, do I do a custom seed? Sure, you know what? We'll use the seed survival hunted for every time I have to use survival hunted. Because I'm gonna try this in future versions, I'm sure. So might as well see what survival hunted looks like every single time, right? Also, Mountain Mayhem may have not come out, but happy Yuletide, everybody. Mounts of Mayhem has not come out as of recording. It will come out later. Anyways, I need to pause and start a timer. I forgot that I need to do that. Hang on. I should not have moved. And 3, 2, 1. All right. 30 minutes on the clock. I do like the fact that I have access to spruce wood. Today's theme is Deep Woods Fairy, which means I really need to try and get like some leaf blocks. And if I can find a village, I can get some iron, I can get some shears. Oh, also, crop blocks, unobtainables. We're counting like the seeds and stuff. Okay. Ooh, this will be useful. I would rather not have to dig to it. Can I just swim underneath? Can I swim underneath? No. No. Aha. 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 This is going to be a problem. But aha. I've made it. I've not made it. This is a problem. Oh, I'm so dead. Fine. Oh, but these are absolutely something I need to have in my inventory at the end of the timer. Village. Yes. Okay. I can skip the night. I can skip the night and not have to lose out on time out here. And I can get some iron and food. Hi, villager. I'm stealing your bed. And this gives me the ability to resist. Okay, I'm thinking out into this area. So, bonk. Come with me. Alright. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to pick you to death, I'm sorry. What is this? Ray attack damage? Sick. It's Okay, how much iron is that? Enough for one shears and a pickaxe or other thing. I am going to utilize it to make an axe because one axe gets me so many different things. We have shears, which means I can actually get myself a variety of leaves now. So we're gonna just do that first. There's a swamp over here, which means I can actually get my favorite flower in Minecraft. Not favorite flower IRL. Favorite flower IRL does not exist in Minecraft, sadly. I do hope it eventually comes. Ah, the blue orchid. The blue orchid is by far my favorite flower in Minecraft. Enough stone for a furnace. Put those in there, put that in there. In the meantime, I need all of this stripped. I need one more piece of coal, actually. There's one right there. Anyway. Oh, and then I don't need that anymore either because copper stuff is slightly better. So I can actually utilize that. In the meantime, I need stairs, slabs. I don't want pressure plates. Trap doors. Um, shelves. That's what this one's for. Shelves. And then an extra space long. Um, shoot. Oh dear, what do I have missing? Oh. Um, duh. Fences. There we go. This is a lot of different things. I need to like start moving certain things around. This is planks for crafting. So yeah, these are more of planks for crafting. This is so that I have access to blocks. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna skip the night. Now, I think I need tools more than I need anything else. So I'm gonna make a shovel. Because that can get me like snow. I think Deepwoods Ferry with snow would be decent. I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. I may just have to abandon setup because I'm currently at 6 minutes, which means I need to kick into high gear and see what I can scrounge up. So that's covered. I need one of these at least. All right, spruce leaves. That covers me on the leaves that I can very easily get. Oh no. Oh, lodestone might help. Uh, that can come in handy. Um, one of each of these should come in handy at least. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. I don't think I'm able to place this on land. No. Vines. 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 Get rid of the copper. Let's see if I can get myself gravel. That should come in handy too. I think I did pretty well. I do wish that there were red mushrooms in a swamp, but we're about to hear my timer go off, so I don't think I'm gonna get anything else. I think what's in my inventory, as long as I don't die, and thus, you know, have stuff in an inventory, is my block palette, which I guess technically includes a copper shovel and an iron axe, which means I don't necessarily need the stripping stuff because I can then use those tools. Some snow up here. The question is, can I get up there and get snow layers and snow? I cannot. I got this close. I, I was like 4 blocks away, and because it was up, I could not get up here. Alright. 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 That is the end of the timer. Here is my... This is my block palette. At the very least, I will say that I've got a decent chunk of vegetation and basically a full wood set. So I think the only things missing from here are signs, which those could have come in handy. I at least have access to dirt, which technically means I have access to grass blocks as long as I let them spread. So yeah, I've got some wildcard blocks in here. They're kind of like this set essentially. I can work with this. I think I can work with this. I'm gonna open inventory. I'm gonna screenshot this, and then I'm gonna pop on over. I gotta remember that these are oak, birch, and spruce leaves. This is gonna be a problem. All right, we are back over here. I'm gonna be using a screenshot, but off the top of my head, I wonder if I even have the planks. I can't make that judgment call. I just know that I had this. Oh, I also had... Oh, shelf blocks are not in there. Okay. I know for a fact that I had spruce shelf. So this is quite the interesting stack up here. We're going to ignore tools. We're going to ignore the tools. But I had at least one of every single one of these blocks in my inventory. So this is my entire palette. I need to lay this out somewhere and find like a good spot for deep woods. All right. Maybe I should get rid of the day-night cycle. No, screw it. It'll be fine. Basically, this is every single block dumped out of the inventory so that I can come over here and pick block and get things. I had to build this so that the mushroom can actually be placed, and also vines are right here on this one. We got my 3 different leaf types, some oddball blocks that are like not part of any form of a palette. I've got a gray set right here and like a yellowy orange set here that I didn't realize I had until I placed it. All the dirt blocks here are obviously, the same dirt blocks that I can pick block. So it doesn't matter if I put them in the palette or not. They kind of exist as part of it. And then there's these and the wood set, which has the shelf block, brand new block, and the trap door. So yeah, this is the palette I have to work with. Oh dear. This is going to be challenging, and I am just going to do like a flashback recording. So, oh dear. Wish me luck. Wish me so much luck. Time for a time lapse. Obviously, first we're going to start with me building a tree. Deep woods and all that. And the Deep Woods Fairy concept that I've kind of gone with is more of like an abstract fairy circle kind of way rather than like actually building a fairy creature, given the fact that a lot of the materials I have to work with are more of just immediate building house materials. Seriously, this build palette was awful to work with. But I do believe that I'm living proof of the fact that like no matter what palette you have to work with, you can make something good. So I built a small tree which I felt was decently big, but then something felt off about it. I showed it to someone very briefly and they were like, no, it needs to be bigger. And so I was like, you're right, It really does. And so I made it bigger, and then I wanted to paste it around in some interesting ways, and I completely forgot to like paste it into a specific location that was never going to be part of the forest before I did anything else the first time. And I ended up putting the tree in a weird position, and unfortunately for me, the volume of the tree, like the volume of the area that the tree takes up or is considered to take up in a flat rectangular prism, was too much for Minecraft to handle. So I had to reduce the amount of blocks that I was actually copying and pasting around to just the upper portion of the tree. But I messed a lot of things up when I was just pasting it around, as you will see, and ended up needing to find an untouched tree and paste it into a new location so that I could actually use it properly, more like a library of assets than anything. And then pasting the tree around was a lot easier. I built in new trunks for the bottom section of each of them. It was neat. It was fun. I enjoyed myself as I built tree after tree after tree. Well, I didn't really build tree after tree. I built one tree, copy and pasted the top section, and I made a couple small edits to some of the trees. After pasting in enough trees, it was time to kind of like actually make some sort of a build. So I decided to do a 2-tree kind of stump thingy and turn that into a small house. That way I could have like, this is where the fairy lives kind of vibes. Obviously I didn't have any materials to make like a mushroom of some kind growing out of the side of the tree and put those all around on all the trees. It would have been nice if I did. I maybe could have gotten away with doing like netherrack with little clay polka dots, possibly. They were 2 blocks that I hadn't used from the palette yet, but I never ended up doing so. Most of what I did was just put this in and then hide firefly bushes beneath some of the trees before I continued on, which is pretty neat in my opinion, because the way the firefly bush works is once there is not enough skylight, it'll just start spawning all of the fireflies. Once I had enough, firefly bushes in place, I decided I wanted to actually add some decoration to the top of the tree. And at first I went with a bunch of pumpkins, but they didn't look all that great and kind of gave the wrong vibe that I was going for. So I eventually decided to swap them out with magma blocks. And once I had them in, they also looked a little off, but I figured I could try and make them actually work if I just take the time to wrap them in vines on any faces that I possibly could. And that did pretty well, actually. Like, you'll notice as these time-lapse clips go on that it did actually go pretty decently. And I honestly quite enjoyed myself. Honestly, after that, all I did was make some rocks, add in a bunch of plant life around all the trees, and after getting every single one of these rocks perfect and putting in some of the plants, actually I don't think I put in the plants first. I think I actually put in all of the rocks, and then I took the lodestone block that I have access to and I put it in a sort of ring around the stump house that I built in the center of this forest. And that is where like the whole complete Deepwoods fairy, this is a fairy circle because the fairy carved into the rock to mark like their territory sort of thing. Like that is essentially what I did. Is I went the fairy circle route because fairy circles are still fairies. And it felt more Deepwoodsy to not know where the fairy is, even if technically I couldn't build the fairy due to my palette not having a lot to work with. But regardless, I did my best with what I could. I don't think I used every single thing I had available to me, unfortunately, but that's hardly a big deal. I am all over the place with this explanation. I am so sorry. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like and hitting the subscribe button. And once again, happy Yuletide. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my Christmas skin all throughout this video. I believe I'll still be wearing it for at least 2 more videos in the new year because I actually have some ideas planned that are probably going to take place around Christmas, which means I'm wearing it because it's Christmas when I'm recording. I hope you guys enjoyed my Christmas skin. It took a little bit of effort to actually make it a as good as it is, and I love it. I enjoy using it, which is why I'm going to keep wearing it for the rest of December, and thus any videos that I record during December you will know. But the skin wasn't the hardest part of this video, honestly. It was literally just making the deep woods and the little fairy house. And I suppose that is quite literally everything. So I will catch y'all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye!